Fire rights. Alright, let's go. So, this game's pretty interesting. What you need to do is go through the green circles and, most importantly, not hit the edges of the... not hit the walls. Let's call them walls. Now, the difficulty level increases and increases and increases. Therefore, the amount of points you get early on is very significant, right? Because it's going to be very, very hard to gain even more points later on. Alright, I missed the first one, but that's a pretty good run so far. And obviously, there's some mechanics to the game, which I will explain in a second, but since I'm actually doing a good run, I kind of want to milk this one out. I don't know why I let go of that. I don't know why I held on to that for so long, but yeah, that's just me being silly. So obviously, I don't exactly know the mechanics behind what bar that you select, but you have to first realize that you will always attach to it in the center of a bar. And which one entirely I'm not sure, but obviously it's a little bit ahead of you, a couple, a certain degree ahead of you. Obviously, vicinity is a thing. It's probably just a constant angle and then just selects the first thing that collides with it. That's my guess, at least right now. And what happens is you get this kind of pendulum swing, which very slightly starts out downward. Probably also depending, I think the angle that you can get varies a little bit because of the automatic sliding towards the center, right? Because it's not just like your thing slides in front of you, it always selects the center. So how harshly it goes downwards at the start can vary. So what can happen is you can literally crash into the top, and by attaching something which usually sends you upwards, you can actually tap it very slightly and actually send yourself downwards. And that has saved me a couple of times already. So these are just little advanced tactics you can use. Other than that, really it's just, predicting your path, right? How high will you go and then how far will you drop? And keeping track of two things, namely which bar you'll get, right? Because that's obviously super important, like how long you'll need to hold it and what your route will be, all that. And you can even look in the backdrop. If you look in the back, you can already see how high the bars are that are upcoming. That's quite hard to keep track of sometimes, especially if you're getting used to the game. But that's something that you can use to actually keep track of the direction you're going in. Because if you go steeply upwards, obviously you need to adjust your route accordingly. Because sometimes reacting will not be possible. You have to anticipate. Just like this one, like right here. If I took a little bit more of a mental note that this bar was sticking out, I could have done it. There's also the visuals of the backdrop are very specific, and you have to get used to those. So that's something I've also been practicing that I'm not very good at yet. And the most acute thing that gets you the points is obviously just getting the green circle, which is not trivial, but it's also not an extremely difficult thing to do. But it's mainly about getting a lot of them in a row, right? Just without any sort of fail. So getting a couple is easy, but getting 10 in a row, that's not that easy. And eventually the things get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you go faster. And the circles get smaller as well. Everything gets smaller and faster and harder. So obviously your run doesn't last forever, let's say it that way. So I'm getting 100 points here. That's not bad. I am frame lagging, which makes everything a little bit more difficult, although only slightly. It makes it hard to exactly determine when I should let go. I can't aim as exactly as usual. Oh, we're going up. See, because I saw we went up, I actually survived this. Alright. See, I actually picked the wrong thing. I actually should have clicked earlier and gotten the one to two pillars in the front, right? So overall, not a terrible score, especially considering the frame lag and not being warmed up, right? And it took me a lot of trials to actually get that 228 one. I don't know what I don't really have proper reference for what a good score is, but I feel like if you got 200, you're doing something right. You're kind of playing the game at a reasonable level, right? You have to. I guess you can't really say for sure that you're already using predictions of the pillars entirely appropriately, because because of the way that works, that you can just keep going and go and go and get into zone 5. You can already get a lot of points. You can probably get to 200 even if you get barely any green circles. So maybe 200 is not as high as I think it is. I definitely think higher score should be possible, but right now my skill level isn't yet where that's just going to be in the vicinity. It's probably going to take a while. So when I started playing the game, 70 was a high score. Now 70 is extremely bad. So there definitely is a very clear learning curve to this game. Then I got to 100, then I got to 130. The average has been moving very consistently, and my personal bests have been pretty consistent as well. So that makes this a pretty pleasurable experience. You have to just learn the mechanics, practice them, and you'll get reliable results in due time. Alright, didn't expect it to go that far down. Okay, well, so all in all, it's just visual recognition, right? It's a very basic game, just all about some basic mechanics and some basic decision making, and that's what I like. I like simple games. Not everything has to be complicated. It gives you exactly what you expect, right? All right, just barely got that one. Getting a lot of centers here. Yeah, even got that one. And I almost hit too early. That would have probably ended my run. Alright, we're going very steep upwards now. Just going to grab onto that one, and I think we're good. Oh, another very steep up climb. Ooh, and some very high hanging fruits there that I got. That could have ended my run. Alright, that one, if I held on a little bit longer, would have worked, but I did not expect to get it. And then it's just a matter of reflexes, right? That's when you're really being put to the test. Okay. Looking good. Dropping downwards just from very quick taps to stop the decline, but obviously I don't want to climb up, so it's just quick taps when you're falling, right? Break that momentum, break that, what's it called, vertical decline, right? And everything's going smoothly. Okay, that had to go way down there. I actually misplayed that very harshly. See if I can slam into a wall and then save myself, just to demonstrate that tactic. It's going to be very hard. I think that's too niche to actually just like look for that from the get-go. Also, when you start a new game, it's going to load a bit, but it's already going to buffer your input. So you have to just click, tap to restart, and then tap that once and then wait. Don't tap anything. Otherwise you're gonna die and die and die. Once it happens to you a couple of times, you'll probably figure out that that's not the best strategy to use, so just keep that in mind. Nice. That is going pretty well, isn't it? Alright. Let's get some combo going. Alright, I really thought that would hit. That's sad. I haven't been able to get to 200 yet, but with the way I'm playing, it's not really to be expected that I would have hit that already. See if I can get a higher score. I have to hit some green circles. That's all I gotta do. Hit some green circles and don't hit the walls. But that turns out to be quite the challenge. Alright, that's just a misplay, as most of what I'm doing is. Alright, well that's a very steep one. I couldn't have really registered that here. Very awkward. Let's just get right back into it though. I think relatively short ones are the best. Very short ones are very awkward, and very long ones are quite awkward too. But relatively short ones give you the most control, because you don't need to wait very long until it latches on, which gives you zero control before it hits. And it's not so short that you have to get some faker level reflexes in just to not hit the wall. So that's what I'm kind of shooting for, I guess. I guess I haven't been doing that. I haven't been standing a little bit closer to the top of the wall. I'm gonna do that from now on. See if that makes a difference. Oh, I hopped right over that. Oh, I actually hit a much larger one, and then I wanted to adjust and actually held it for too long. Very awkward sequence there. Come on. Alright. Gonna hit this one. Yep. Just approach it from the top. I have to approach it a little bit more steeply from the top, I think. Well, not that steeply. That is just crazy talk. Ooh, just barely. I'm living on the edge here. Without even trying. Good old song references every now and then. Why did I do that? I don't know what's triggering me to do that. That's obviously, your own behavior can be quite staggering in these games. Obviously, in a game where you don't have to make any mistake, because it's conceptually very simple, but you're doomed to make a mistake eventually. All you're doing is analyzing your own behavior on a longer term than that you can completely manage, right? You can't completely control every little micro action you do in the millisecond, right? So you have to rely on these automatic processes and just apply some level of control over them. And that's something I say in every game. That's not just something I say in here. That's something I've said in League. That's something I've said in IO games. Every single game I've played, I've made this point, because it's a good point. I think it applies to all human skills there are. So that's why I keep making it. In everything that I do. And it tends to be that everything that I do, I can do well. So I hope that this point contributes to that fact, because obviously I hope I'm not selling snake oil here. Certainly don't think I am. Oh, what am I doing? These movements are so clunky, I don't know what's up with me. That was pretty close. Can't have it all, right? And every now and then I just remind myself to look at the backdrop. Especially as you get further along the run, where it starts to matter more that you stay alive and matters less that you get circle, because the pathing is so specific that you have very little control over whether you hit circle or not. While here it's the exact opposite. The pathing is very liberal, and all that really matters is that you get those early points going. So that's why that's one important point I always make, is that aside from just consciously reminding yourself of the things you need to improve on, you also need to learn to do those things at the right time. Like something like looking at the minimap in League of Legends, or looking at the backdrop in this game. Those kind of things are most important in certain times, and very particular times. They're 100 times more important than all the other times. It's an exponential distribution, right? Like if you learn to look at 20% of the cases on the minimap or in the backdrop, you'll get say 90% of the, what's it called, returns, right? As someone who's looking literally all the time, right? Literally all the time, who's actually dragging his other aspects of gameplay down because of that. So, very important to recognize, when should you be doing that, right? When should you be looking at the backdrop? Right now, you can look at it real quick, but it's not as important. Especially when I'm learning it. Obviously, I don't want to learn it at the most irrelevant points in time, because it's not very motivating, right? It takes more conscious effort, and you only have so much effort in your body, right? Alright, some pretty intense circle mechanics right here. Pretty sweet. Pretty good. Holy moly. That was sweet, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna hit that one. But that was a sweet streak. That's 100 points. Ooh, I tried to just hit it a little bit and then catch on to the other one, but I hit it just too shortly. And I'm doing exactly what I said I shouldn't be doing. And I just did it again because I swiped. Apparently swiping, it says tap to restart, but it also registers a swipe as a tap. Learn something new every day. I tried to actually wait out the swipe to see if it registered it, but it takes so damn long, dude. It takes so damn long to load. If you're consciously waiting for it, that is. If you think you're not actually waiting for something, then it's just every second feels like it's 1 second too much. Just hit it real quick. Gotta be accurate with those. Those are difficult, right? But I actually got them. I actually got all of those inputs down correctly. Very pleased. 120 points in the red zone. We're going down. Oh, what? I hit it too late. I did not notice that. I was looking at the backdrop. I was like, we're going down, and then indeed down I went. That was a nice example of pulling myself down with the input. Didn't do anything, but I think it was a nice demonstration of the concept. Ooh, that didn't pick the one I expected, but luckily it didn't kill me. Alright, well that was such a shitty run, I don't really mind losing that one. Problem is with the tapping, if you tap too soon it actually doesn't register it. Very clunky. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, let's make this a serious one. Oh, nope. Wrong one. Wrong pillar. And then you can forget about it. Alright, well this is also a shitty run. Still gonna try, but missed a lot of points. 33 points. Damn, that's not a lot. Oh, I missed that one. That was a difficult one. That wasn't being terrible. That was just not being awesome. It's hard to close your eyes and play this game. It actually swapped to the big one, and I didn't react to that in time. Maybe if you're gone, you can actually react to that, but it's just not happening with me right now. Not enough adrenaline, not enough practice. Those are the two things I need. Maybe even just train my reflexes, although I'm not sure if that would help. Alright. Mind blowing, let's get a couple of mind blowings in. Ah, that's too bad. It didn't grab the early one. Should have done that just a little quicker. Alright. I got the right one, but I still missed the target. Okay. Still going for that 200 score. I just haven't been playing too well. Just to hit the edge on that. That went really steep upwards all of a sudden. That's sad. Not too good a score anyway, but still would have liked to continue. Maybe hit the 6th zone, you never know. Alright, some mind blowings. I can get some more of those. No? Oh yeah, I still made it. That's a large pendulum swing. Whew. Cool. I wasn't sure which one it was gonna hit. That's too bad because I got a really good score early on. Too bad I killed it. Still could do even better. Have done even better in the past. Nope, I let it go way too early. This one too. Yeah, this one I didn't want to press too late, and indeed I didn't. Gonna press this one. Just planning my route, as you need to do in this game. Yeah, that was all planned. That too. Playing well right now. But not good enough to hit that one. Yep, yeah, I actually hit that. That was the correct route and the correct execution. Oh, should have hit that a little bit longer. Pretty cool though. It's a very short input once I hit the appropriate height. Let's get on another streak. Mind's blowing. Ah, that was so unnecessary. I could have hit that right in the center without any problems at all. But then again, if I played this game like one should, then I would not ever get any score lower than 200, right? Oop, nice. Okay. Ooh. Whew. I noticed that. I don't know if I could have played that even better. I planned that very quickly and very precisely, but it was just too steep upwards. I couldn't find the proper one. Maybe I could have done that entirely differently, and I just don't see that. But I don't have a replay right now. I'd have to stop the recording, but that looked really good to me. That's unlucky. Still not hitting that 200. I want to hit that 200 within half an hour, and then I'll probably call it a day. I am playing better now than I was at the start, which is a good sign. Not yet playing exactly as good as I could. Okay. I can hit that one. Nope, not that one though. Alright. This is going pretty good. Too bad. Come on. Man, I don't know why I hit that for such a long amount of time. I was way too close to the wall to actually hold that so long. That was a really good run in the making. But then I missed the circle, and then I actually hit the wall. Really could have been a star run if I played it out appropriately. Could have been a personal best by a long shot. Oh, I hit that one way down there. If it's going up like that, that's what happens sometimes. You really have to wait for that tap to restart to pop up in the screen, but it's so unintuitive that it doesn't buffer that input. And then it does buffer the input after it says tap to restart. Going from not buffering it to buffering it, that's the worst nightmare of a player. Just a funny little story I should probably say is that once I got my PR, the game sometimes crashes, right? Just at random times. And once I got that PR, it actually crashed seconds afterwards. So imagine that it had crashed before that, my personal best would not have come through. That would have been pretty sad, wouldn't it? Oh, let go of that too early. This is good. Playing this decently. Yep. Not flawlessly, but not very poorly either. Too bad. I expected that to hit the upper one, and then it would have been fine. Just a nice little swing on a vertical bottom, right? Wait, am I saying vertical when I should be saying horizontal? Yeah, horizontal, flat bottom. That's sad, but still no 200 or PR. That could have been it. I am playing better than before though, so should be coming up, right? Like I can feel, even though I can't consciously control anything in this game, or not a lot at least, I can still feel my mechanics and how good they are. I can't just say, oh, let's do them better, let's have better reflexes to when something happens. But it just happens, and you can feel it, how quick it is. Like that one. And this one I didn't hit, but it was a pretty good way of playing it, right? Like, I instantly saw that and I just tapped it very shortly and then let it fall to try and just get it on a very large fall. Like, it's not poorly played. it's important to be objective with your gameplay analysis, right? Not always call it good or always call it bad. Just try to objectively look at what you did and whether or not it was good, independent of the result. Sometimes something works out and I'm like, oh, that's pretty bad though. And sometimes something doesn't work out and I'm like, well, that was a pretty good play. Sometimes you just keep like reiterating on the same concepts. That's a very large part of playing games or doing any sort of skill. So reiterating what you already think you know, making sure that you actually are able to apply your knowledge. And there are so many steps to that. It's what makes it interesting, right? That's why it's not monotonous. Why a game like this is not monotonous is because there's so many ways to apply yourself to improve. So many strategies. It's fun to try them all out, you know? Just get those runs going as a result of your strategizing and practicing. Your analysis, all of it coming together into one beautiful run. Right, well, I haven't hit a lot of circles, but if I survive for long enough, then who cares, right? Been a while since I hit the orange part. Glad to be back, I guess. Let's go quick. Oh, I should have hit that longer, obviously. Hit that input longer. Go on that one. Yeah, well, easier said than done. What a tongue twister. Easier said than done. There's so many of these S sounds in there. They probably have words for that, right? For all these types of sound, like aspiration. But yeah, I never learned those, so just gonna call it S sounds. Hit way in the back. Yeah, I could have gotten it, I guess. Ooh, that was risky. Close. Didn't expect to get that, but once I did, I tried to make it work. Barely missed it. Whew. Oh, I should have held that a little longer. Just a little tip, you know, like it's just a couple of frames will do. Alright, still hit the right one, wasn't sure of that. Oh, that was a risk, but feeling lucky today. Oh, and that hit right there in the back. I kind of expected that, but I thought I could still make it. 3 in a row, 1 too much, right? Alright. Yeah, that's not the right one. I don't know how I could have played that. That's a funny one. Ooh, playing this really well. I let that one go way too early. Oh, I kind of wanted to stop myself from going up, but then I would have had to do the quickest just tap like this of my entire life. I want to try that out. I think there's a minimum for it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you can just shoot it and it won't hit. And if you tap it very quickly, nothing happens. So you have to hold it for a little bit, which means that the input is almost impossible to time, right? Because there's just some random amount of time that you have to hold it and then have to let it go a few milliseconds after. Well, if you just tap very quickly, you know you're gonna only get it a few milliseconds, right? A few milliseconds after 0 is much easier than a few milliseconds after some unknown amount of time. Alright, some good mind blowings. I let that go way too early. Alright. Dropping a little bit to the bottom. Oh. Yep, gonna get that one. I knew I probably wasn't gonna hit the circle. Wasn't sure though. Whew. Oh, well, that's sad. I really want to get a good run going, but it's taking longer than anticipated. That 228 stands and stands there like a brick. I haven't even gotten close to it. Even though the margins of improvement are still pretty big. Aw, oh, come on. Can't be serious. Oh, well, just went right over that. Alright, some high speed stuff going on here. Just I'm surviving. Planned that perfectly. That one not so much. But it worked out. Whew. Yeah, I knew that if I hit that one, I would be too quick. And if I hit that one, I would be too slow. That was just so awkward. One that sticks way down the bottom and then really far upward. The next pillar is really far behind it. That was really awkward. Maybe I should have tapped that one. But I hoped I could get the next one. Because if you can get the next one, it's fine, right? Then there's no problem. Overall, I played that really well. So it gives me hope. Didn't hit a lot of circles. And with a bit better RNG, I could even make it further. Because my routing was just immaculate there. As far as I can analyze it, maybe I'm wrong, right? It's like, I don't know. It looks immaculate to me. I can see my own mistakes very often and just say, oh no, that's not good at all. So it's not like I'm always like, oh, whenever I do something, it must be right. It's like, I can see a lot of my own mistakes, even if I can't fix them. That's just inherently part of being good at analysis, right? It's like you're supposed to see your own mistakes. It's not strange that you can't fix them instantly. That's not how things work in the cognitive department. Alright. Let's go for some mind blowings again. Yeah. I'm missing too many of those. Many of these were not trivial to get. But that just means I should play better, right? Get the ones that are not trivial. Very simple. Right, got a good combo. Ah, still a good score though. Good score, good gameplay. I see this going somewhere. Ah, I should have hit the earlier pillar there. I didn't want to hit the one way down there. That's just awkward, right? You have to be quicker. It's a reflex thing. Like as soon as I see it, I understand the positioning of those pillars and how I should play that. But obviously then it's too late. You have to do that within the second. That's obviously, your analysis always goes through these stages, right? Where maybe you can analyze it afterwards and figure it out in 5 seconds or less, but you have to realize it in less than 500 milliseconds. That's why this is so hard. You have to be quick. Alright, good stuff. Yeah, this one's hard to get because I needed to get it that pillar in the back. The other two weren't good enough. And then it's really awkward in terms of timing. But twice in a row I actually got the one that was hard to get. Oh, that just barely missed it. Alright, got the good pillar going. Instantly broke the combo though. A decent score, not a good one, not a bad one. Right, this is not looking good. My survival skills have been good, but hitting the circles has not been. Yeah, hit that one. Yep. And that one, and this one. Good routing. Yeah, perfected. Yep. Ooh, just got it. Ah, and I hit it too long. That's obviously the problem. If you have to get all these ones that are really close, you have to be very precise with your inputs. But I still think I made the right call. It's just that's just a matter of practice, right? With cognitive, pressuring yourself cognitively and then actually analyzing the game, all of that good stuff that you should be doing can only get you so far. You have to practice, right? It's very simple. It all comes down to those reflexes in the moment. After you make the right decisions, you hit the right pillars. It's all about just reflexes, timings. And that is something you can train just by doing. I don't know what I was doing there. I don't know, I think I wanted the other one there, or I accidentally hit the tablet. But yeah, I wanted the one in the back. Yeah, I want that one. Even though usually that's a little awkward, I knew it would get me perfectly into the circle. This one too. This one was, I think I needed to hit my high point. I was still going up a little bit. If I got a little bit closer, I would have gotten it with the swing. Just like that, yeah. Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure which one I'd get. Oh, that's steep, but I got it. Did I hold on to it for too long or too short? Not sure. Can't really recollect exactly how it happens. So I'll just keep going. Ooh, yeah, well, that's, I guess I should have, as soon as I saw it, I should have hit that pillar. Just a little too slow. Alright, we're gonna do 1 hour of analyzing this shitty game. Holy moly. Crossing that off my bucket list, right? Just got that with the swing, that's nice. Ah, I let it go too early. Alright. This score's a little better. Still not as great as some of them could have been, but I just don't have to die, right? Or have to not die, I mean. Ooh, those were difficult, but I actually got them. Wow, that was close. Very steep. Ah, I'm too late. Sorry, I was too late. Way before it happened. I can get an even better score though. Like I'm playing better than ever before, but I haven't gotten a personal best yet. Just like that one, I could hit that. I know with the way I'm playing right now, I can hit those consistently if I pay attention. But I didn't pay attention. See, I know I can get that. Opa. Yeah, when you're going down, when you're approaching it from the top and you're going down, you want to go a little bit too far down, unless you already can't get it unless you just keep flying in one straight line. And if you're going up, you want to go a little bit too far up so that you can let go and then bop right into it on the fall. Like this, like whoop, and then you bop into it. Now I did it too soon, right? Very bad examples here. So like this. And then actually let go for too long. You have to pick it up in time, obviously, right? So just a good example, whoop, like this, and then you get it on the downswing, like this. And yeah, my timings were off because I was trying to purposefully wait just so I could explain it, but that didn't really help. It's a bit of overdoing it. Okay, well, I expected to hit that one, but apparently not. Oh, just the one in the back. That's what I was looking for. Nope. Too bad. Gee willikers, that is some bad stuff. Just barely 100, wow. That's not good, but if I get to zone 5, it won't matter. Ooh, close. Whew. Oh man. Alright, well, 10 more minutes to go. I know I'm gonna hit a PB. I know it. I can feel it. I can see my averages and the way I'm playing this. And I know it's gonna be there. Ah man, I should have hit that way longer. Held on to it, I mean. That one too, I don't know what I'm doing. What a dog shit run was that? Holy moly. Ah, I hit the wrong one. I thought I would get the pillar in way in the back. Alright. Oh, again, same thing. And I didn't even expect it to matter, but apparently it did. Yeah, that's a save. I would have crashed into that wall, but I directed myself downwards. So I actually got to exemplify that. That's nice. Now all I need to do is get a PB, and I've done everything I wanted to do in this video. Gee willikers. I love saying that. It's kind of like ironic or something. Ironic old school. It's the best kind of irony. Of course, ironic is a bit of an overloaded term. It has multiple uses. Like, and people like, I remember George Carlin was against any other use than using it as meaning contrary to what you would expect. That's his only use of ironic. But people also use it for sort of remarkable coincidences or coincidences with a sense of contrast, right? So it's not directly that you wouldn't expect it. It's just that it has that contrast to it that it is to be expected. It has a theme of unexpected event to it. So as an example, when let's say, see if two mentally retarded people had Einstein as a kid, that would be ironic. It would be contrary to expectations, right? You could feel the sense of irony in that, like, wow, what? Like, I guess that wouldn't even be the best kind of irony, but that's an uncomedic one, right? It doesn't really have a clue. It's not funny. So usually when people use the term, they also refer to a certain comedic aspect in the contradiction that happens, right? And that's not really here. Like, it's not funny. Like, okay, Einstein had retarded parents, I guess. Okay, sure, right? But it's not funny. It's way funnier when, yeah, I don't know. I have to think of some examples here. See, when you when you win the lottery on the same day that your parents die or something, that's kind of cruel irony, right? Where something really bad or really good happens. So there's an aspect of contrast and dark humor in there. So it's usually called ironic, right? But it's not Carlin's version of irony because it doesn't really it's nothing else than a coincidence. It's not really contrary to any expectations. The chances of winning the lottery on any particular day are just as big. So it's not an actual contradiction. It's a contradiction. It's an aesthetic contradiction, right? It's a contradiction in outcome. It's a contrast in outcome. You can't really call it contradiction then, right? So even though Carlin is like, no, you can't use that. I think that's fine. It's how it's used and it has sense to it, right? Which are my two criteria. Of course, if that's how it's used, Carlin always said, like, who cares, right? Well, I care if it has some sense to it, and I can definitely argue for the sense in this. And the other one, the actual irony, is, let's see. Yeah, I can't even think of a better example, right? I need Carlin for this. Just, but yeah, the actual irony where, let's say the example I called out with Einstein, even though it didn't have an aspect of comedy to it, most of these examples with contrast are comedic, right? They're comedic coincidences, really. That's how I would call them. I don't know if you can make an actual contradiction appear comedic, right? Like Einstein with retarded parents. It's not funny. It is contradictory to what something would appear on the surface, right? Like on the surface, you'd say, okay, sure, he has intellectual parents because it's hereditary. So, not sure if I can think of. Oh, wow. Wow, did you look at that? I wonder if that's always possible. Like, yeah. Oh, that is really cool. Wow, dude. Holy moly, did you see that? I just discovered that you can do the same mechanic I was doing and really push it to a whole new level, dude. That is so cool. I can't even remember that I've been playing this game. Got pretty deep into this topic. It's funny how your brain can completely take over the activity you're doing subconsciously. That proves that your conscious mind is way smaller than you think. Like, when you play a game, you usually experience it as if you are playing the game, not as if the subconscious part of you that you have no control over is playing it, and you're kind of spectating it, giving general directions. Right? I would say you're your own coach in that regard, because you're really not playing the game. You're just spectating with some general advice, like, hey, yeah, maybe do it this way, right? Steer the automatic processes in new directions. That's all you can do. I should hit that earlier, I know that. So if you wanted to program an AI to play this game, all you would do is just hug the top, right? Very, very close to the top, because you can just pretty much 180 degrees steer your character instantly if you have perfect mechanics to actually manage that, right? Because obviously for humans, if you have to do frame perfectly, then it's not a viable strategy to do 10 times in a row. Oh, of course, that depends on how many frames there are. If there's 24 of them, even then it's hard. Like, I don't really know how consistent you can do the different amount of frames. Like, I don't know what the biological limit on that is. Alright. Just too low. Approached it from too low. Ah, that was a good one, actually. Not sure if I could get it when I would grab the pillar in front of it. Probably. Oh, I didn't see that coming in time. Wow, I had to grab the one way in the back. Oh, I thought it would grab the one behind it. Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Approach it from the top. Okay, what the hell am I doing there? Hop, nice. Let's get a good combo in. Nice. Ah, oh, damn. Yeah, you have so much control here. Look at that. I should really stick closer to the top. If I had death statistics, I wonder what they'd look like. Like, how many times have I been killed by hitting the top? Look at this. I always get killed by the bottom. I have to structurally refactor my gameplay, I feel. Like, just completely hug the top. I already had that idea a little bit, like, let's try that a little. Now I think I should really do that way more. Alright, wow, this is a really good run. Yeah, no way I could get that. Now we're gonna hit those circles. That was such a good run. Imagine if I kept going there. Alright, well, I think it didn't hit 200, but with more tries, sure I could get there. I think that one was a beautiful run. Too bad I ended it so early on a misplay. But yeah, that really shows potential. I really hope you guys found some of my commentary interesting, perhaps a little entertaining, maybe learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one.